Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 Imperium video. As per usual though, if you like these videos, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys and it goes a massive way to help the channel too. Now, with this video, we're going to have a look back at an issue that for me that was missing. The reason it was missing is because the normal delivery drivers that deliver to the shop where I get it from had quit and then left, and basically deliveries hadn't been made. So instead of, because the driver they had couldn't find the shop, although it's in the middle of a town centre, so I don't understand how they couldn't, they sent it all back to the warehouse. It then got sent back to Hachette, and yeah, it's taken 7 weeks for the issue to finally turn up. So it's a long overdue issue 45 look through. We had that awesome Kinaptic Wraith, the first one of 3, but we will be getting a really cool model. I must admit, I really like it, and I will be building that later on. But yeah, really cool stuff. So we will get 2 more of those in coming issues as well. One before the end of issue, if I remember rightly, it's issue 58 for it, where we will be getting the other one. And yeah, really cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to it as well. So having a couple of them on the battlefield. Into the issue itself though, we have the Kinaptic Wraiths greeting us. So these are fast attack hunters. So capable of phasing through solid material, Kinaptic Wraiths appear from nowhere to tear their victims apart with their razor-edged claws. So obviously, because these kind of critters, they look like a little bit like scorpions in a roundabout way, don't they? They have these awesome vicious claws that are, you know, weapons that are able to tear through reinforced armour. They use trans-dimensional technology to phase through solid structures, so pretty much nowhere safe really, is it? They do have some awesome ranged weapons as well, so they do have things like the particle caster and a trans-dimensional beamer as well. If you're going for the trans-dimensional caster, this is a weapon that fires streams of minuscule particles which detonate when they strike their target, blasting bodies to atoms. If you're using the transdimensional beamer, these are designed for clearing debris. This weapon can banish its targets to an extra dimensional space where they slowly starve to death. So a lovely weapon that one is, isn't it? In all honesty. But really cool stuff, and they are pretty gnarly looking units as well. So as most of you have probably already built yours and maybe even painted yours. Really cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to getting going with mine. As there will be 3 of them, you can give them their unit designation chart as well, so they will work as one unit. You can give them their enhancements, their battle protocols, and their stasis crypt protocol as well. All of them from D6 charts, so roll a D6 and get your names out of them. Really cool stuff though, and of course you can record their battle and different strikes as well, so really cool stuff. Then we get some information about our Adeptus Sororitas, so this is weapons and war gear, so this is a background page for naming bits and pieces as well from them. So now, there is also a printing error with this, like there has been in issue 52. So I've already noticed straight away. It says Adeptus Mechanicus War Gear Names Generator Table, but this is for Adeptus Sororitas. So, you know, good proofreading there from the publisher. It is what it is, so it happens. I can imagine it happens in every company at some point. So, with this, you can utilise a D33 dice roll to give you your names for your prefix and your suffix. So you can have, for instance, the Sceptre of the Zealous, or Shield of Vengeance, or you can even have Simulacrum of the Cardinal, which doesn't have a great ring to it in all honesty, in my opinion. And then you can also go through on the other pages to give them the melee weapon names and your ranged weapon names as well. So for instance, Emperor's Vengeance, Fate's Fire, which doesn't really have the same ring to it. You could even have Throne's Light, which doesn't sound great in my opinion, but entirely up to you how you want to name your weapons for your Adeptus Sororitas. Then we get information about one of the other orders of the Adeptus Sororitas, the Order of the Valorous Heart. So shielded by their unshakable faith, the Order of the Valorous Heart preserves through grueling hardships, perseveres, should I say, through grueling hardships to bring death to the Emperor's enemies. No amount of suffering is too great for them to bear, and all that they endure is paid double to their foes. So, these are really, really cool. So, some of the sisters from many of the different orders are trained in the arts of healing, joining the orders of the Sisters Hospitaller, who serve as battlefield medics and surgeons, and they are a contingent of sisters from the Order of Silent Vow, which have been seconded to the Order of Valorous Heart since the martyrdom of St. Lucia. If you are going for the Order of Valorous Heart, they have their own colour scheme, of course, so it is entirely up to you how you want to paint them, but they look really, really cool. Then we have on the other page the Order of the Argent Shroud, the Silver Spearhead. So, like a quicksilver bolt, the Sisters of the Ardent Shroud strike at the Emperor's enemies, and they are renowned for their speed in combat and are often first into the fray, where their faith in their protector saint shines brightly. So, really, really cool stuff, and they are another really awesome part of the Adeptus Sororitas, I must admit. All of them are really, really cool faction parts of the Adeptus Sororitas and really, really good stuff, so, must admit, really cool. Then we have a faction sheet, all to do with the Astra Militarum. So this is the generic human fighters. So the Astra Militarum, also known as the Imperial Guard, is the primary fighting force of the Imperium of mankind. So these will use mostly tanks. These have mostly regular humans in their ranks. So not really super soldiers. They do have some really awesome weapons. They don't really have these super advanced weapons. It is literally normal projectiles, the occasional flamethrower, some awesome tanks, and some awesome bits of equipment. Really, really cool stuff though, and I must admit I really, really like the Astra Militarum, and they have some really cool regular style weaponry, which is really, really good stuff. They also have some really cool looking units, whether they are things like the good old commanders and stuff like that you can get from the HQ sections. Really, really cool though, I must admit. I do really like the Astra Militarum. They're one of my other favourite factions within the whole of 40k. Then you get your how to build section for the Kinaptic Wraith, of course. So there will be multiple builds for this over time. So there is some different sections of how you want to build it, entirely up to you. Fairly easy though, in all honesty. It's going to be, there's a couple of different things you can change on there, but certain weapons that can be changed over, certain ways that the claws can be done, so you can have them kind of, depending if they kind of extended or kind of reined in a little bit, that type of thing. But yeah, really, really cool stuff, and I must admit, I do like them. You can also have them with whip coils, which just sound absolutely bonkers, but you can do that if you wish to as well. So really, really cool. Good bit of kit. So, and we'll get 2 more of these later on as well. So happy days. Then we go through our how to paint section. Dead simple, paint it up how you want to, really. If you're following the magazine, it's very kind of bright and metallic. But yeah, really, really good stuff. But yeah, happy times. So I must admit, I do kind of like it in that colour, but I will be doing it differently because I have to be awkward. Then you got your data sheet for the Kinaptic Wraith as well. So it does give you all the different bits for the different weapons, because obviously we will get 3 of them over time. So there are a few extra bits and pieces to go with them. So you have all your different weapons listed on there. So you've Whip Coil, your Vicious Claws, Transdimensional Beamer, and the Particle Caster as well, depending on which weapon is on each of the Wraiths. Depends on which part of the datasheet you're going to need as well. You also do get some details of how to utilise certain kind of parts to them. So for instance, the Wraith form, phasing through terrain, and also the Slinking Strike as well. So make sure you're having a read through it if you are going to be using your Wraiths as well, so because you are going to need it in all honesty. And then we get the battle plan for issue 45, so I can't say this week. So if you are going with it, you would just be using your Technomancer, 3 Scarab Swarm, another 3 Scarab Swarm, Kinaptic Spider, Kinaptic Wraith, and Tombblade. Going up against the Imperium forces of the Kaliness, Tech Priest Dominus 1 Tech Priest Engine Seer, 10 Skitarii Rangers, and 3 Cataphront Destroyers. And yeah, bit of fun with that one, so not too bad. It's not a super huge battle, but we're in more to that territory now. This is a 7-week-old issue after all, so it is what it is. But yeah, really, really good stuff. With the issue, there was also the pull-out section for the Alien Tides, so this is going through different parts of the aliens. So for instance, an ever-growing realm, so the Alien Empire, so several alien empires exist within a known galaxy, so for instance the Tau, as one of them, so they are a pretty big good old empire as well. So the Tau Empire, pretty cool units, I must admit. I do like the Tau, they are really, really cool. Tyranids, so the Tyranids are kind of a just bestial, rage-filled, in they go, with the hive mind, and yeah, try to destroy everything in their path. Orcs are really, really cool. They have some pretty cool unique units, such as Squigs, and they also do have some pretty funky technology which just looks like it's made out of junk, which is always really, really quite fun to look at. Then there is of course the Eldari and the Drakari as well, so the Eldar and the Dark Eldar essentially. Really cool space elves, so they can have things like the Avatar of Cain in their midst, and these pretty damn cool units as well that fly through the air, these kind of like sky cutters essentially. But yeah, really, really good stuff. They're all quite fun, all a little bit different. They all have a uniqueness to them, and it is entirely up to you whichever one you wanted to go for, if you are going to go for one of the alien races and one of the Xenos forces from good old 40k. But other than that, thank you very, very much for joining me for a look backwards at issue 45. And issue 52 is already out now. Stormbringer magazine is out. I've not been able to find a copy just yet, but I hopefully will soon. But for now, thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.